This week in league, coronavirus proves what footy fans have known for years. Melbourne and Campbelltown are fucking diseased shitholes.
For the first time in 100 years, there's a new position in rugby league. At his price, Ben Hunt isn't a hooker, he's an escort.
The NRL braces for a new CTE epidemic after a recent poll shows 27% of players rate Mitchell Pearce the best half in the comp.
Plus, we look ahead to all of the action for round 10 of the 2020 NRL season.
Like more this week in league. Welcome to episode 359 of This Week in League. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jay.
What's happening, man?
Oh, yeah. 2020 keeps delivering.
Yeah.
Fucking just
I'm
when you
fucking
think...
furious.
Just when we thought we were out. Cunts in Victoria pull us back in.
Quite frankly, I think that the entire rugby league community should first apologise to Adam Fanua-Blake and secondly deploy him down to Victoria via Campbelltown to tell these cunts what fucking retards they all are.
It just beggars belief that there was one hotel and one shit cunt security guard company.
But my understanding is that they were fucking quarantinees or whatever the word for it is.
They were fucking quarantinees
to give them like acts, like to allow them to go to 7-Eleven and things like that.
Yeah, that. But also they were letting the guests. There was no one preventing the guests from mingling.
Right.
In all the other hotels, there were measures in place to make sure that the guests stayed in their room.
In house arrest, in their hotel room.
Yeah, that's it. You're in quarantine.
Yep.
Whereas this one, they were going into each other's rooms to play board games and chat and do all this stuff. So,
yeah,
absolute clusterfuck.
And now they're breaking some. Now they're like getting new cases, the likes of which the entire Australian.
Yeah, yeah. Like community transmission, man. Last time, all we had were people from overseas and the sort of dumb cunts that go on cruises.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, this is how the shit really was in other countries.
Yeah.
Honestly, grab your ankles, cunts. It's time to doggy dance.
Yep. And then it looks like New South Wales weren't quite fast enough to put a clamp on. I saw a story saying that there was like a Jetstar flight from Victoria that landed in Sydney, and they just fucking sailed through. They didn't even.
Yeah.
They weren't even challenged. Yeah. Let alone
And let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
A Jetstar flight is the worst sort of flight to let in from anywhere. While
I have a degree of compassion and sympathy for Victorian victims.
Really?
I mean, like the bare minimum. Like
actual victims, not dumb cunts.
Yeah, it gives me that feeling like when, like I'm busting for shit or something, that level of sympathy. Like, nothing like, nothing that I can't just fucking throw down the Dalton in no time flat. But I tell you, by Jesus, if these cunts fuck up our grand final trip,
I know.
I will put a jihad on Victoria.
Yeah.
I've already got a jihad on Campbelltown's long story, but Victoria.
Look, I grew up in Campbelltown.
Yeah.
And it deserves a fucking jihad.
Yeah. That
place has no redeeming qualities.
Yep.
Nothing good has ever come out of Campbelltown, me included. It's a fucking terrible place. But I love it.
Yeah. Well, fucking backtrack. Now, at this stage, well, fuck, we were like, you could almost fucking taste it.
Yeah.
Like negotiations with the venue were penciled in and approved.
Yeah.
And the trajectory of the COVID,
The restrictions
in
were
New South
going
Wales
back.
at the time, and that we could probably, the 50 that we sort of baseline was going to be fine and handled on their end, and potentially, given it was like 4 or 5 months away at the time, that these things are, that it may open up and we may be able to, touch on wood, we may have been able to get like our regular numbers in for
It was heading that way.
It was heading that way. Now, boom, they clamped it down. Now it's like 10 people maximum per function.
That's
it.
it.
And pubs then maximum numbers dependent on the square meterage. Who fucking knows? I mean, like then it's like, do we get back? Do we have to fucking waste 2 weeks before we allow back? Because I mean, our state is just locking shit down and keeping it out as they should, as everyone should be.
Yep. God damn it, Rona.
The good news is there's plenty of time for Victoria and Western Sydney to fucking sort their shit out.
Yep.
Plenty of time. If you think about the initial lockdown, for us anyway, things were kind of open back up here, certainly within like 10 weeks total.
Yes.
Total. And like,
yep.
So they've got that time. No problem. And you know what?
Yeah,
if everyone does what they're fucking supposed to, it only takes 2.
Mm-hmm. But you know what though? Fucking lock your shit down now.
Yeah.
Fucking Gladys. What the fuck sort of name is Gladys? Really?
She's got a name like she fucking plays bass for System of a Down.
What's his name?
Well, I mean, they're all Armenian.
Okay.
So they've all got these fucking names. Like,
Okay, cool.
Like whatever her fucking last name. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Okay.
Beryl Jeklian or whatever. I know that's not right, but I say it for comedic effect. I don't know what the right answer is though.
Yeah. Fuck, just Gladys, lock your shit down.
Yeah.
Like, lock it down tighter than what I can only assume are your crusty fucking meat flaps, and just cut that shit out because I want my meat up.
Yep. It's literally the only fucking saving grace of this fucking year.
It is.
It really is.
It'll save 2020.
Yeah, it will.
Fucking.
So, for us.
Yes.
With all due respect.
Well, it's all, look, it's the year of Cleary, so I can't be too upset.
Yeah, but this is the thing. If these cunts don't fucking sort their shit out, I mean, he'll be back to fucking TikToking illegally on the TikTok underground with his fucking little speakeasy full of fucking 5s.
Penrith 9s.
Yeah, Penrith 9 CBD 5s. So this is the thing. This can fuck it. Can fuck everybody. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, oh mate, fucking the Chucky Staines.
Oh.
I didn't have this down as a news thing, but I mean that he's the loose ass country fucking farmer that he is. Immediately fucking.
Look, do you want to segue? Do you want to segue straight into that?
Oh, I can. I mean, the most important thing that I took from that news article was that he went to the hospital with lockjaw at 2:30 in the morning. And I'll tell you, what a fucking soft cunt. Because I'll tell you, if I went to the hospital every time I had lockjaw at 2:30 a.m. on a Saturday night, handle your high, son.
No.
Don't quadruple drop.
Lockjaw is an ongoing condition.
Taken by having 4 pingers at a time.
Yeah, you're not Joey Johns, mate.
You're not trying to fucking. You're not trying to get into a big day out when there's dogs ahead of you, mate. Just fucking ease up.
Yes. No, we'll talk more about that in the news.
Oh, I don't have him in the news. We can talk about it now. That can be the first thing. I mean, I do have like this kind of catch-all Rona related article bit, but
that one's a bit of a nothing story.
Yeah.
They've had to have stood him down under the protocols, which is understandable. It's a very serious thing. The issue was that the current bubble requirements state that you may have up to 10 people attend your place of residence in a day. Where he fucked up was that the fine print says that they can only attend at a maximum number of 5 at a time. So you can have 10,
Yep.
but they've got to come in 2 groups of 5.
Yep.
And he had 1 group of 10.
Yeah.
So he's not good at 3rd grade maths or whatever fucking grade you learn groups of 10 and 5s.
Or just like reading in general.
So, like the kid was excited.
It's a nothing thing.
It is, but because it's the Rona,
Yeah.
it's a something thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the Cleary thing. Any other time of the world, that's a fucking nothing thing. But because it happened in the time of Rona, it's more serious.
Yep.
Congratulations to him. It's not often that somebody comes out and so thoroughly thumps an entire club back to its rightful place of mediocrity. But he certainly did that to Cronulla. And it was glorious to watch.
I enjoyed his debut, but I would also, his debut was like a highlights package of Darius Boyd's State of Origin career. Literally was touched by an opposing player only on the last try, and it was barely like a foot around the ankle. Hand around the ankle, sorry.
And I'll talk about this in the game, but that break he made down the touchline, and the pass he threw back inside, was fairly fucking sexy.
Yeah, but the tries he scored though.
Oh, the ones he scored, yeah.
All bar one of them, there was like no one within 2 meters.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so like the first story, I don't know, the biggest one of the week. Old Dean Pay stepped down from as the coach of the Bulldogs after their disrespectfulness, and he had a meeting with the club after they lost to the Broncos on Saturday. And yada yada yada. Thanks for your contribution, and he was also thank you to the club. It's been an honour to blah blah blah. The standard bullshit. So I haven't really heard any dirt come out yet, but it's interesting that he did jump before being pushed. And Steve Georgalis is going to be the interim head coach for the time being.
Steve Georgalis,
with the name,
the professional interim,
always the bridesmaid, and word on the street is that negotiations have commenced. So one of the contenders is Trentius.
Sexy good bloke.
Well, that's just, let me tell you, Bulldogs, I can't recommend this guy highly enough. If you need a coach that's going to get on the drink with the players, a coach that's going to be one of the boys and put himself in a position where he can't make any hard decisions, then Trent is the man for you. Do you have a shortage of outdoor furniture? Trent's apparently got some.
He does, and will bring it. He doesn't give you with backyard furniture blue balls.
Do you need your roster to be made worse than they are now? Just call Trent. 1-800 sexy good bloke.
Look, I think Dean Pay stood up here.
I think yes too.
He went into a situation where there was a shitty roster, and the only thing that has happened has been that good players have been shed, or at least average players.
Yeah,
they'll go through. They lost CHN.
Yeah,
who's a rep level player.
Yep, and
was their fucking greatest attacking weapon for the majority of that run they went on at the back end of last year.
Yeah, he was good for a try. He was good for a try, like a kick out try, except he'd do it from 30.
Yeah, that's it. But can also effectively chase bombs and contest, and was a fitter kick out.
Yeah.
They lost Woods, which was probably a blessing in disguise.
Oh yeah, especially this weekend.
Yeah. But they lost Mbai, and while he's not what everyone thinks he is, and does have a barrier in him occasionally, but
I think he'd start.
But he's a loss.
He could amputate one leg and still start in the current Bulldogs
lineup. So how the fuck Dean Pay has come in with the roster he had, done nothing but lose players, go through fucking scandals and all that shit. And now he's told by the club that they're going to look at options for next year. So they didn't say to him, "You're fired."
Yeah,
they said we're going to look at options.
But it's not just what they. There's not just what they said to him. I mean, it's also there has been the little whispers and everything for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, there has been.
So,
but when isn't there if a coach goes through a rough period?
Yeah, but I think from his perspective, the whispers were coming from like the board.
Inside, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't just the media, like just
Yeah.
seeing a coach losing and then. So good on him for going out with his head held high.
Yeah, fucking oath.
And I don't know what's going to be next for him,
Like,
but
I'm
I don't expect to see the Bulldogs bounce this week with
No.
Steve Georgalis.
I don't think Dean Pay comes out of this looking better, but I don't think he comes out of it looking worse.
Yeah.
I think he would still fairly simply walk back into an assisting role.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
He's not going to go straight into another head coaching role, even if there's one available.
Will he get another head coaching role? I don't know. Considering the options that are out there, jobless.
Yeah, but who
at the
is?
moment. You got guys like Tubes, Nathan Brown.
You got Tubes, you got Brownie,
You
you got Hook.
Hook for sure. There's some other ones there that I'm not sure if they're even still in the game.
Like, what's Neil Henry doing? Where's he?
Yeah, Neil Henry and Matthew Elliott and like guys like that.
Yeah.
Still, all of them better
Yeah, that's it.
than
That's it.
So,
And as an interesting thing, I don't know what this is, but for Trent Barrett to take that
yeah,
in a situation where, if you look at the Bulldogs,
Yep.
there are so many areas that they're falling behind on.
yes,
And one of those seems to be that they just get run roughshod every single week. They're just so far out of condition.
yep,
So the first thing you'd want to do when you get there is say that, okay, these guys aren't in shape, or they're not in good enough shape for
Yeah.
what they're doing. So we need sports scientists, nutritionists.
Surely they have all of that stuff though.
I'm assuming that if they do, they're not good enough,
Yeah,
And then the club goes, you know what? We don't have a major sponsor,
yeah,
so it's going to be really tough for us to pay for that stuff.
yeah.
Seriously, would you take the Dogs job now?
No, but I mean, Trent's a different animal.
Yeah, he is.
He's a blind ambition for a guy. I think he's just one of those guys that just needs to fit. He just needs to be called a head coach because he's achieved nothing in the role. But I think it's important to him.
He's the Ponga of coaching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
when he's had the reins, nothing good has come of it.
But even this year, he's being touted as doing a lot for the role of halves and playmakers and key players at Penrith. Like, it's your first year of that, mate. Take a couple of years of that.
Yeah.
And become, he's the best attacking coach in the thing. Look what he did there. He was this. Don't just take the first, and believe me, I'm not saying this because I've got any issues with him leaving Penrith.
Mm-hmm.
None whatsoever.
Yep.
None whatsoever.
Because you know what would happen if he left Penrith?
Fucking nothing.
Fucking nothing.
Exactly.
At all.
But don't just walk into the first one that comes along.
Yeah.
Build your mythos, do this, then in a couple of years' time when something actually, the Tigers are going to be looking for a new coach in a little while.
He's just about due.
Yeah,
Farrow or not.
And then, I was going to say they might still have Harry Grant, but they won't.
Well, no, I mean, he actually came out. I didn't put it down in the articles, but I saw an article where he's like, "Oh, let's end the speculation right here. I said to Storm, I'm going back next year, and I'm going back next year."
Yeah.
And then he even refuted the line that's been trotted out was earlier in the season that he's like, if Cameron Smith doesn't retire and he's not starting, then he's going to get a release.
That's it.
He's like, that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
I'm good. I can wait. He's seen what it feels like to be the best player in a bad team,
and this is him going back to a fucking diseased, rampant, post-apocalyptic shithole.
Exactly.
He's choosing that over remaining at the West Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Levels.
Very. Related to the Doggies, but not that story in particular, but the NRL's appeals committee issued their decision in respect to the appeals brought by the Doggies players Okunbor and Harawira and Naira. will all remember that they fucked some school kids and their registrations were cancelled on the 1st of April following serious breaches of the league's code vis-a-vis fucking children. And look, it's what happened.
But with an important point of distinction, Harawira-Nara's was a Tinder hookup.
Yes.
And that was just in breach of
the fraternisation.
Code of conduct. Whereas the one that Okunbor fucked
was like through like
sent
Instagram.
a picture to him of her with him
Yeah.
in her school uniform
Yeah.
from earlier that day.
Yeah.
So, yes, both fucked girls that were under 18, slightly different surroundings.
Yes.
Always check for ID. Yeah. What else?
So the suspensions were 14 weeks for Okunbor and $22,500 and undergo counselling, etc., etc.
Yes.
Harawira-Nara copped 10 matches and a fine of $15,000. And so the appeals committee found that while the suspensions and the fines were all good, the deregistration was too harsh. And Harawira-Nara and their Bulldogs contracts are to be reinstated. Okunbor, I believe, is he's Bulldogs for life, and so he's like
local junior.
When he
realizes he's a fringe fucking first grader.
When his suspension's up, what he realizes is that the Dogs got nobody.
Yeah,
they'll welcome him back.
Yeah.
Harawira-Nara, on the other hand, is signed to the Doggies until the end of 2022, but he allegedly has said that no Canterbury Bankstown bosses contacted him after he was sacked by the club. So,
yeah.
So he's. I saw a thing on Fox earlier today where he was like, I can't remember what the quote was, but it was like, dreaming if they think like he's filthy at the club and there's fucking no chance he's going back there unless he's somehow strong-armed in doing so. Apparently the Warriors, the Dragons, and Canberra Raiders are interested.
Well, of course they are. He's fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope the Manly are interested as well. I mean, because he would be a fucking custom-made replacement for Joel Thompson.
Yeah, he would be.
And he was very close to signing with Manly in the past.
A
couple of years ago before he went to the Doggies. So, and that was only scuttled over some stupid old person bullshit.
Well, it was because Gus put you in the rightful position that your club deserves to be in.
Well, Gus and Bozo had a fucking an agreement that they wouldn't fucking go after each other's players. I mean, that's like, we talk about the old cunts and like the game being run like a meat raffle, and that's fucking exactly like typifies that sort of shit.
Yes, it does.
Fucking morons. What else did I say about?
That's interesting because I would have thought, and I think that's unwise by the Dogs.
What part of that exactly?
Again, you look at those two instances.
Yeah.
And you look at CHN.
Yep.
Like, for there to be no contact.
Yeah.
And there's obviously two sides to every story.
Oh yeah.
But for there to be no contact seems a bit rough.
Yeah. Who do you expect to hear from, firstly, as well? Because I can't imagine that he didn't get a call from Dean Pay or someone like that.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's not out of the odds. What you got to understand is when they're courting these players,
yeah,
right? There's a whole bunch of fucking shit that goes on, and he would have met with maybe a board member, or who knows whether Mortimer sat down and had a coffee with him and explained to him why he wanted Corey to come to the Dogs.
The vision that he had.
That's it, and this is why I think you'd fit here. You can see how CHN would be there going, oh, okay, well, hang on. When you wanted me to come to your club, you were all, I've got time for you, and, never be afraid to give me a call if you need anything, and I'm always. But then after this, you didn't want to know me.
Yep.
If that's true, it's poorly managed. Well, at the end of the day, you fucked a child, so.
That's it. Let's say, there's such a connotation to child, isn't there?
Yeah.
I mean, let's say fucked a school kid.
No, that's honestly, that's what it is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I said, and I've had some fucking sobering thoughts recently. I was out a little while ago, school holiday.
Not fucking children, I trust.
Not at all. And I was with my boy
Yeah.
and my mate's boy,
Yeah.
and we were just mucking around in a park.
Yep.
And then there were some girls there talking about how they were going to go out and party.
Yep.
And they were so happy because they'd just turned 18.
Okay.
And I looked at them and I'm like, and I did that thing. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, going out and this. And then I realized that they were closer in age to my 6-year-old son
Than they were
to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're talking about 17-year-olds.
Yes.
They're fucking children,
Yeah.
right? That's what they are. So
Yeah, but also, I mean, you are significantly older than like a 21-year-old fucking
fuck you, man.
Jaden Okunbor.
fuck you, man.
In which his case is that he's far more closer to their age than they are to your son, who he doesn't know.
You know, I know, but my point here is
Yeah.
at 17, 18,
Yeah.
like you are so close to being a fucking kid. It's not funny.
Yeah.
So, don't do it.
Yeah, okay,
Come back to Penrith, Corey.
There you go. Yeah, that's not going to happen. There's just no fucking money for it.
there's not.
He had to. That's the whole reason he left in the first
Exactly.
place.
And yeah, you know what? Really, Liam's fucking doing a mighty job there.
Yeah.
So,
just the general wrap up of Rona stuff. Western Sydney teams could be forced to relocate
because Campbelltown is a shithole.
because Campbell, just Western Sydney, just everywhere. I guess west of. Look, I would argue everywhere west of fucking what Balmain.
Yeah, you fucking bougie cunt.
I just incinerate the fucking lot. But I think for the purposes of that discussion, I think they'd probably mean everywhere west of Parramatta, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What is it? That's the southwest, like Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is.
But I mean, when they say West Sydney, I mean that's like So that's your doggies. That's I mean, I guess the Tig
but it
Pies. I
hasn't
guess
gone Parramatta Penrith way.
Yeah.
Yet.
So the NRL, if need be, is prepared to relocate all 16 teams to Queensland.
Jesus Christ! Well, they're already doing it.
Which you know what? I'd say that'd be fucking great because I don't know if they'd spread them across the state. They might send some up to fucking North Queensland, but you'd think the vast majority of them would be down here.
Yep.
And that means that the tickets to games are a lot more attractive.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it's not watching the fucking Titans or the Broncos. The commission has returned all non-Queensland clubs to the original Apollo protocols, which removes players' abilities to go to places like cafes, restaurants, beaches, golf courses, etc., and additional restrictions on visitors to homes. So more so than what old Chucky Staines breached. And in a couple of games' time, the Warriors are federally fucked with. When they were talking about the players that were missing the family and were going to go home and trying to go home, and after old Stevie was sacked, Ignatius Parse's name always came up, so I sort of followed that back as who gives a shit. But the other two, fucking Fusatua and Ken Momalo, Jesus Christ, like, I mean, the only way it could be worse is if RTS was going with them.
Yeah,
I mean, if that were to happen, just fucking fold.
Yeah.
And they're also one of the also heading home with them is what I think is the number one name in rugby league at the moment.
King
Vuni Yayawa. It's just fucking tremendous.
It is.
I love it. So that's a bit of a Rona wrap up. And now, once again, just when we thought we were clean, now we have to be like, oh, fuck, is anything going to happen? Well, I'll tell you what, could we meet up in Queensland?
Yeah.
It's kind of not the point, but could happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I say unilaterally, if these fucking Victorian retards don't get their shit together.
True.
And when I say Victorian retards, I'm lumping fucking Western Sydney into that group as well. They don't get their fucking shit together, then there's definitely going to be something happening.
Yeah.
On Grand Final Day in fucking Brisbane.
Yep.
I guarantee it.
Yes.
Because you know what? We'll be allowed to.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be allowed to book a place.
Yep.
And we could go to that barbecue place and we can shut the fucker down.
Yep, exactly.
And that would be great. And if they got a big screen TV, that's all you need.
We'll fucking buy them one. Give me fucking brisket, ribs, and grand finals.
Yes. Recaps for, what was it? Round 9. Thursday night, the Roosters 42 defeat the Cowboys 16. Up at the, what did someone, I saw something on Twitter that someone like now called the Abattoir or something.
I did see that. I did have it in the game tweets for this one, but if you want to talk about that now.
I think it's great. It's a great name.
There has been a petition to rename the stadium from the Bedpan to the Abattoir.
I'm all for it.
Yeah?
I like it better.
Nice.
I mean, if they ever were to start winning, I guess it becomes an abattoir. They slaughter the other teams. So the name it's evergreen.
It's multifunctional.
Okay. So the Roosters 42 tries, 5 tries to Ikuvalu. Tupanua and Kiri with a double. Flanagan, 5 of 8 conversions. The Cowboys 16 came through a double to Reece Robson. Cohen Hess with the other one. Felt 2 of 3 conversions. This one was kind of strange because it was kind of a game for a little while, but man, that like in that second half, that first 20 minutes or probably less than 20 minutes, 17 minutes something, was just fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous.
There's a very popular TikTok song at the moment.
Okay.
And the words say, "I just flicked a switch, flick flick," and that's what the Roosters did in this game.
That sounds. Look,
I'm trying to appeal to the younger generation.
I'm not the least bit surprised that song would be popular on TikTok.
Preparation for the Roosters for this one was absolutely fucked.
Yes.
So it was one of those ones where everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Their game day plane that you get now with the Rona protocols was delayed for apparently multiple hours. So they got up there late. They couldn't train properly or couldn't get to where they needed to go, and then you lose one of your best players in the warm-up.
Yep.
Never a good situation for any team. And it showed. Like, they were a little bit dropsy, a little bit out of sorts in their attack.
The first half was terrible.
Yeah.
From both sides, really. It was an unenjoyable game.
It was dropsy.
Yeah.
Drinkwater was uncharacteristically fumbly for the Cows. But yeah, the Roosters flicked that fucking switch at halftime. Jesus Christ, did they go up gears. And just instantly and together.
And it was just fucking weird, like, because you don't see teams flick a switch like that in mid-game.
Yeah.
And just all of a sudden, it just started happening for him.
But again, and I'll fucking harp on about this in every single situation, the only way people do that is if they have a fucking grasp of what they should be doing, and there's enough actual accountability and honesty within that squad for them to be like, I'm not.
Yep.
And I need to.
Yep.
And to a man, they went out there and improved what they were doing. It was a fucking phenomenal performance just for that.
Yep.
The other thing with the Roosters is they're one of those teams where they'll go at weaknesses all fucking night. You see it so often where something will happen, or a player will have to go off, or they've got to shift someone out of position, or there's something wrong with a defensive line.
Yep.
And it'll be hit occasionally. The team they have their game plan and they'll keep playing to that.
Yep.
Whereas the Roosters spot a little bit of weakness there, and they're like, okay, we'll just fucking run that all night, over and over and over and over and over.
And if you're going to let them, like the Cowboys
sure did. Yeah. Yeah, it was a very, very scary performance by those Roosters.
Hit some tweets.
So, first one in that we'll give to Lexi, who said, not sure what more there is to say at this point. It's clearly the year of Kiri, #3Pete. Well, it's fucking not.
Could be.
He's going to fucking brain himself and be a dribbling, better ball-playing Liam Fulton very soon. Clevo in the Facebook group said, we really need to be the New South Wales Rugby League again. The Queensland teams are holding rugby league back from being a powerhouse league like NFL or EPL. Oof. Justin from the Facebook group said, "How lucky was I to win a ticket to this game? These blokes are a disgrace." Oh, man. Or was that through like local radio or work? I don't know. Tell us. But that was fucking terrible luck. Zoran said, "Imagine JT playing in the Roosters pack and in that system. He would be considered the greatest forward in history. Guy is holding back his legacy playing for this rabble." Look, he's 100% right. He's great, but he can't do it by himself. He cannot. You look at that premiership winning forward pack.
Yeah.
And he wasn't the best forward in it. He was good. He was great all the time he was there.
But I mean, like they had Origin guys in there at that stage. You know,
exactly. So. Carsten, good old fucking Swiss cowboy, said, "We bent over faster than a gay prostitute in jail in that second half." Cameron, fucking suave tuxedo wearing motherfucker, said, "Ikavalu, as all good wingers do." Greg said, "Queensland Rugby League's in a worse state than Victoria's health." It fucking is. Justin Foley said, 2 words, Kyle Felt. "Couldn't kick it out of sight on a dark night using a black ball." And the last tweet was at 88888 account, suggesting we rename the stadium to the Abattoir. Motion carried.
It is carried, ratified, stamp it.
Nice.
Titans 16 defeat the Warriors 12 at Hope Solo Coliseum on the pub slot on Friday evening. The Titans 16 tries to don Sam Stone and Bo Firma. Ash Taylor with a conversion, Jamal Fogarty with a conversion, and the Warriors 12 came through tries to RTS and Malmalo, and Channel Harris to Vito, 2 of 2 conversions. I was driving down fucking mountain listening to this on the radio as it happened live. And what a strange old fucking game. It wasn't until I caught up with it later that it's like you can't believe what's happening. Like the Warriors must have completed like a dozen sets.
Yep.
At 100%.
Yeah.
When the Titans were 0% completions.
Yeah.
They were probably like 0 of, I don't know, 8 at that point. Like probably like 15 minutes into the game.
Doing Titans shit. Yep.
And the Warriors, like they had their 12 and they were they were up. It looked amazing.
Yep.
What a fucking turnaround. Honestly, this was the more surprising, even more surprising turnaround than the East game.
Yeah.
Because the Titans have a long and storied history of being terrible, but that first 15 minutes was up there with the worst football I've ever seen from a team, especially to start a match. But fucking, I got to give him credit. Maybe Holbrook can coach because the Warriors did invite them back in by proceeding to suck themselves.
Yes,
but the Titans were good enough to stay in there and get it done.
The Warriors had, again, Mamala was absolutely massive for them. He is the fucking driving heart and soul of that team in many fucking aspects.
For the next 10 days.
Yeah. And for the Titans, like Ash Taylor, for all of the good things he does, he just needs to work on the polish in his game. Like there's just too many times in a game where the option he takes, it's the right option, but his execution is poor. Like he just gives away too many 7-tackle sets. He's kicking it out on the full. That sort of stuff that, yeah, okay, if that happens eventually, you put it down to everybody fucking up from time to time. But multiple times a game, the Titans can't afford to be put in those sorts of positions. I thought it was really fucking tough on the Warriors to have the Hetherington try disallowed.
It was almost like the mental turning point.
Yeah.
That was like a pretty, as far as decisions go, that's up there with.
It was fucking rough.
Yeah.
As in, there's this thing we have now where they're trying to get to the ball before anybody else, and there's a body in front of them, and they have arms.
Yep.
What do you want? Then you get in the second half the Peachy knockback, where that was an incredible play.
Yep.
And that was one of those fucking never say die moments. Those sorts of things are what keeps the myth or the mythology of Tyrone Peachy.
Well, I feel like
Alive.
the mythology's dead, but then occasionally, like an ember,
But that's what I'm saying.
sparks up, and
That's
people
exactly
are like,
what it does.
"Oh, yes."
That's exactly what it does. And people someone goes, oh, rumours of Tyrone Peachy going to Manly. And people are like, yeah, you remember that time where he like flicked it back in when like he was over the sideline and he just didn't give up. He doesn't give up. Love a player that doesn't give up.
The ball's never dead.
Exactly. So,
the play never dies.
yeah.
The play does die when the cunt knocks it on fucking 1,000 times.
Yeah, on first tackle, set 1 of the game on his 20. Yes. And yeah, again, I think that out of all the struggling teams at the moment, the Titans have probably got more things to be happy about at the moment than anybody else. Start off with the tweets with Levius said, just doing our part to keep the Broncos as the shittest team in Queensland.
Yeah.
Hammers said, on behalf of all the 26 Titans fans, I'd like to apologise to all that sat through the full 80 minutes, but also suck my dick from the back. Well done. Ian, in the Facebook group, said Titans cementing their spot as the best Queensland team with that sublime performance. Fucking, that's taken off, hasn't it? Titans being the best Queensland team.
I'm here for it because they're still not great.
No.
So if they're the best Queensland,
Fucking not.
It's like the inverse of that cliche about, if X insert team is going well, then rugby league's going well. If the Titans are going well, then Queensland rugby league must be dog shit.
Yeah, exactly. Garth said, should let Fogarty guide the team every week. He did do a good job in patches. Sam in the Facebook group said, if the Titans could get rid of Cartwright and Ash Taylor at the same time, I legit reckon they could push the Tigers for 9th. But instead they let Jai Arrow go. Very Titans. Backwards Sit on Twitter said, it's official, the Titans are the most rule-abiding team in the NRL. When was the last time a team had 0 penalties awarded against them in an entire game? Interesting point.
It happens more than you think, though, too, for, if not for entire games, but for, like, extended periods or entire halves and things like that.
That's it. And at Warriors Suck Balls said, that was Spoonerpalooza shit. Great footy. Jack Hetherington, the only good player in tablecloth yellow today. And he didn't even get sent off. Little motherfucker's learning.
And that bush shirt jersey? Nah.
Yeah.
You're taking it too far.
Yeah. I don't understand it.
I mean, I love the fact that they have a billion different jerseys for whatever reasons.
Because you don't have to buy them?
Yeah, that's right. But that bush shirt one, I would love to see the sales figures on that one. Like how much the bush shirt is a thing in New Zealand that people will be like, yeah, I want to buy a fucking like sublimated, fully synthetic material jersey that looks like a flannel.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah. If a Kiwi listener can please write in and give us the mythology and symbolism and fucking whatever behind a bush shirt.
No, please don't, because then I'll read your fucking message in that shit cunt accent of yours.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, the fucking shirt's good for when we go out with our cholly buns.
Go with the cholly buns, trying to hunt for some kai, bro.
And sometimes it gets cholly, so I need a jacket.
Moving along.
Warriors are missing their families.
You to go home, didn't he? The Rabbitohs 18 defeat the Tigers 10 at Bankwest. The Rabbitohs 18, a hat trick to Dane Gagai, and he does not get the benefit of the as good.
As all good wingers do.
No, not for you, sir. James Roberts with the other try. A terrible night for Reynolds with 0 conversions, and he got a penalty goal. The Tigers 10 tries to Aloye and Hoffman, and Mbai, 1 of 2 conversions.
It was rough. The Souths also lost Liam Knight in the warm-up.
In the warm-up, yeah.
Did an Achilles. Or had an Achilles injury.
Yeah.
Poor
he didn't do his Achilles, like he's not, because that's like instant CSC next year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was that bad, was it?
Well, you got guys like Toto doing ankles, and it's 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So the Achilles is in that part of the body as well.
Yeah, I don't think he tore it though. Like,
No,
did he? It
just
wasn't like
strain.
yeah.
But but it's still a major fucking amount of time on the sidelines.
Yeah.
The Rabbits obviously won the game, and they look to be getting a little bit better week on week. But just looking at their play at the moment, Damien Cook really is lacking effectiveness, but I feel he's also lacking help. And by that I mean, when you go back and look at when he was at his damaging best, part of the reason that he was so destructive was that everywhere he went, he had options. He had multiple options, and they were all up going with him. So it was instantly trouble for defensive lines. Now, even when he wants to take a scoot, he either has no options or he has one option, and it's a forward coming up alongside him.
Yeah.
And defensive lines are just reading it way too fucking easily. Souths have none of that, what they had last year, where you had that left-hand side.
And it would just sweep and...
Exactly.
And wouldn't even have numbers advantage, but would somehow have a number on the
just
end.
Speed, exactly. Yeah. And it would be that when Cook took off, the entire left-hand side would go with him.
Yep.
And so there was, okay, what's coming here? Does this go to Walker, and then is he going to run? Is he going to throw a long ball? Is he... And again, when you put people in a condition where they've got to make decisions, the faster they've got to make them, the better chance you've got of them making a poor one.
Yep.
In saying that, they did get into the grind with the Tigers. What's your thoughts on Josh Reynolds kicking a cunt in the face?
Well, it was certainly a spicy way to get the game going, wasn't it? It was quite exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly fired Latrell up as well.
Fucking did.
And look, honestly, I've just got to say that, as I said on Twitter at the time, mate, mate Campbell, he's not the one that fucking catfished you with fake babies in his belly. Fucking simmer down, lad. He's not the guy. He doesn't even fucking know her. His name's not fucking Campbell Zucker Rieger or whatever the fuck she's called. And like, if it were anyone else, you'd almost feel like emotionally be like, well, obviously, he got himself into a terrible position, and with heavy oncoming traffic bearing down and everything, it's unfortunate he copped a bit of a knock. The problem is Josh Reynolds has a long and storied history of putting his fucking foot out to collect people.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this one, he wasn't even stepped. He was just running straight. Like it was like there was going to be a collision. But he certainly made it worse.
What I can't believe in this one are the disingenuous cunts who want to try and pass this off as he's just such a competitor. He saw the ball and he was just competing for the ball,
with his foot.
When people slide, when someone's trying to score a try, and someone slides in with their fucking foot and collects them in the
Billy
head.
Slater.
That's it. Yeah. Or the 3 or 4 times I can think of this year that it's happened.
Yeah.
No one ever comes out with, they were just competing. They're just hard competitors. Yeah. Just competing fucking hard.
Mate,
when
you cross that try line, you put a foot in your player and you're dead, man. But
and I get that. Okay, he's trying to tow the ball through, and it happened at pace and whatever.
If he's such a competitor, don't be such a bitch. Put your fucking body on the line. You die for it like he was.
Yeah. What were you trying to do? Were you trying to kick it out of it? Because he was there so much before fucking Reynolds came through.
Yeah.
Like what that should have been, you're right, is try to pull out, and then maybe there's a collision and a knee collection.
He could have like dived to tackle him.
Yep.
And like tried to force him to just under the pressure of the oncoming thing
to skid over the ball and knock it on.
Yeah. And then at that point, it's your ball anyway, and your deep competitive urges have yielded fucking results.
Yeah.
Like it's not. Yeah. But you don't go to a guy and go, "Oh shit, I'm going to collect him on my knee. How do I improve the situation?" I know.
Kick him in the face.
I'll kick it. I'll collect him with my foot instead. Yeah. And so no, and look, I love Latrell fucking going at him.
Fucking nice.
I love that staunch shit fucking backing up your teammate who's just copped a dog shot.
Yep.
I love it.
Exactly.
And all these people are like, oh, fucking Latrell. No, fuck up.
And you know what?
Fuck Josh
Anyone
Reynolds.
that wants to start fucking petitions about dog shots, come back to us when you don't let a debutante gape you. You know who you are.
Hit some. We haven't really spoken much about the game itself, but obviously the scoreline was far more flattering to the Tigers than it needed to be.
It was.
The recent competitiveness of the Tigers has been. This was the least competitive they've been in, like probably the last
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 since the resumption almost.
They're building a platform of solid defence, and for the majority of games, they're keeping to it. They're defending tough. They're scrambling well. But again, it just seems that in key moments, they've got key personnel that should be leaders not getting in and being effective. And another head's rolled this week. Luke Brooks has been dropped.
Yep.
For being a defensive fucking liability.
Madge ain't fucking around, but then he's putting Benji back in.
Yeah.
Who he dropped for being a defensive liability
That's
like
it.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, there is a limit. Like, if most of your team are liabilities, eventually you got to have some fucking liability rotation.
Yeah.
Litation. Whatever that fucking word is. The other note I've got here, and I don't remember when in the game it was, because the only note I had here is, no high tackle. Oh, it was when they challenged on the high tackle.
Yeah.
When they used their captain's challenge to say that it wasn't a high tackle. How the fuck that cunt did not have to leave the field, I have no idea, because he copped a double whiplash.
Yeah.
And I know hitting your head on the ground's bad, and I know being hit with forearms or Adam Reynolds' fucking shin is bad. But that fucking tackle, when they replayed it 1,000 times, how that did not result in him having to leave the field.
And I have to say, usually they're pretty good at the video ref. One thing I have been impressed with, since the resumption is they've been pretty good about like spotting a player, like a play after or whatever, and we go like, nah, he needs to get a check. Yeah.
Fuck that poor cunt. That poor cunt.
Hit the tweets sudden.
Stuart in the Facebook group said it could have been a different game if TWiL was sent off and the Tigers were back to playing 13 men. Whatever Souths were paying the ref was a waste of money. The Tigers proved they can beat themselves quite all right.
That is legitimately the worst comment we've ever had sent into the show.
Ash from Facebook said, everything else has gone to hell, but some things still make sense. Imagine if we weren't in lockdown, I would have missed this. Hashtag Tigers in ninth. I assume you mean you would have been working or away or something. A good mate Aaron said, we are home. Hashtag ninth. Reynolds will get a few weeks for that kick. Benji will come back. We will be better. Mbai makes Noffa look like a defensive powerhouse. It's starting to come back down to earth. That unbridled optimism. Graham, the Facebook group, said, so Appy is the New South Wales hooker at this point, yeah? And I would have to say, based on current form, it would be hard to disagree.
Can he be?
He can do anything he sets his mind to. He's phenomenal.
No, I mean, like, can you, like,
I don't know.
I mean, with representative international allegiances being what they are and things like that.
Yeah, what's the go with developing nations though, or do they still count as developing nations? Wasn't there the amnesty that you could go and play for a developing nation and not affect your origin? I think
all jokes aside though, Freddie will just go with incumbency.
Yeah, 100%.
And Cook will go well when he's surrounded with good players.
That's it. Yeah, fucking hope so. Craig said Reynolds has been watching Cody Walker YouTube videos. Adam said, so if Benji is dropped for defence errors leading to try scored, Mbai having a holiday next week. First try, him on a decoy. Second try, out of the line, 1-on-1 miss.
No, they pinned them all on Luke Brooks.
Well, probably looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex trying to tackle those little fucking midget arms of his. What an absolute sad fucking cuck.
Filters wee man he's wee man run through Snapchat filters.
And a tweet from an account I haven't seen tweet the show before. I might be wrong. But the Twitter address or Twitter handle is at David from Chapo.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Now, yeah, so
doesn't ring a bell for me.
Tell us who you are and how you found the show. But he said, oh my God, there's a 5G sign on the ground. Do your research, sheeple. This is putting the COVID vaccine microchip straight into your eyes. Please, someone turn on the Pete Evans lamp.
He hit on fucking so many points there.
That was
About 6 different things. It was great.
That's rookie of the year material right there.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, here we go. The Penny Panthers 56 defeated the Sharks 24 at Jubilee. The Panthers 4 tries to Chucky Staines on the boo. Crichton with a double. Filling out the rest of them, we had Naden, Martin, where are we? Dylan Edwards and Billy Burns. Cleary 6 of 8 conversions. Crichton with 1. And Cleary with a penalty goal. The Sharks 24 tries to Britton Nakora, Blake Brayley, Jesse Ramian, Nene McDonald, and 4 of 4 conversions to Sean Johnson.
I'll tell you, there are a lot of things to be happy about in this Penrith performance. And look, a few obvious gaping fucking holes to fix, but they started well again. And coming from last year, where they realised that being the fucking comeback champions was an untenable position to keep yourself in a professional sport, because eventually you'd run up against teams that wouldn't let you do it.
Yep.
Or that you just weren't good enough to come back over the top of. So the starts they're having and continue to have this year, I really like. To the Sharks, though, that was some very poor defence.
Like, fucking all-time disgusting defence. And not only early on, like, across the... Like for example, all 3 of the Staines tries where they didn't have anyone within a fucking metre of him.
Yep.
The fact that they were allowed to be scored, at least without putting some contact on the guy or something, was just fucking disgusting. And the worst one was that Billy Burns one, though. Like, fucking
Aaron,
that was like the Aaron Woodsiest thing, because it was a combination of the 2 key features of Aaron Woods: fucking bone idle laziness, and fucking low key grub.
Yeah,
it had so it was the Woodsiest thing ever.
When Liam went over for his, like, I get a winger going over untouched.
Yep.
I don't get a fucking forward going over untouched, and literally unfucking touched.
Like, and there were plenty of people around there, but Aaron Woods was right.
and the Woods one, they just fucking stopped. And Burns just fucking kept going. Scored a try. There was obviously...
the Sharks fans, do they fucking hate him? Because I hate him, and he's never played for my team.
I know.
I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
I look at him on the field, and it just fucking aggravates me so much that he's
I got
earning
fucking
a living.
reasons to hate him. His shit cunnery. Well, you know what? And this is karma.
Yeah.
His shit cunnery started wrecking Matt Moylan.
Okay.
He was the one that would fucking grab him and half tackle him and fall on him after he passed the ball.
I remember the one specific example of that too.
And just do shit cunt things like that.
Yep.
So now that's come fucking full circle, and they've ended up with Moylan and Woods.
And now he has to carry the cross that he fucking created.
Levels. And there were danger signs in this when the Sharks started to come back.
There were a couple of occasions where it lapsed, and it was only through a bit of good fortune that, who knows what. I don't think the Sharks were ever going to be in a position to win the game.
No,
but it was that period before halftime was terrible, allowing them to come back into it, and then the period there with the sin bin, where they almost scored. Like, if Chad Townsend wasn't such a fucking potato, they would have scored then, but it ultimately it turned around. I think Penrith scored immediately after.
The Burns try was straight after that. In the bin.
And so at that point it turned it from what should have been. I think that I can't remember what the score was at that point, but
24-12 or something.
But it was the point where they were kind of close enough to bring it back.
But so you say there were no danger signs, and the Sharks were never going to get in. But the Penrith teams of old,
I never felt like they were a genuine threat to actually win the game.
No, you wouldn't. But I did.
Yeah, but that's just like that.
That's fucking ghosts.
That's like PTSD sort of thing. That's not really like a reality sort of thing.
But no, they do have that collapse in them, and that's one of the things that I'm most impressed about. That they can snap back into a game.
Yeah,
Penrith could exit a game with the fucking best of them. They could get out to a lead. And then when the other team kept coming back, and it was, it happened to them against Parramatta. There was that 10-minute period where they fucking blanked.
Yep.
and the points all flowed in, and that was them for the rest of the game. Then they were in panic mode trying to play catch-up.
Yeah.
In this instance, the fact that they could just get back on track with what they were doing, and you're right, one of the tries was when Kickout slipped over in the defensive line,
Yeah.
and there's no way you can plan for that, and there's no way you can effectively cover for that.
Yeah.
But the happiest I was out of this one was with Naden. If you look at a team, and it's come up a couple of times about cohesion in a team, and you can tell. Like, you can tell teams, like when shit happens to the Broncos at the moment, they drop their heads individually.
Yep.
When Staines scored his last one,
Yeah.
because Naden probably could have taken that one himself.
Yeah.
But the fucking pure, unbridled joy on that kid's face as he ran to congratulate his mate on the wing, scoring 4 on debut.
Yeah.
That's the sort of shit that's infectious in a football side.
Yeah, but I mean that's like that. That's always going to happen, though.
Yeah, not to that level though. You didn't watch it.
I think it's always going to happen because
you're an
it's the
unfeeling
story.
human being.
No, because that's the story.
No, I'm saying look at Naden compared to everybody else. Everybody else is happy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Naden's extra happy.
I mean, as far as I heard, Naden's unhappy unless they're fucking plotting on killing somebody. So maybe.
Jesus Christ.
You love him.
I do. I'm a fucking Naden stan. Unapologetic. Tweets Shunter in the Facebook group after, being very humble and not wanting to go off too early.
Can I say, just shout out to Shunter, because today, as we are recording this show, is the anniversary.
Wasn't that yesterday?
I think it's the 15th, wasn't it?
Was it?
Oh, maybe because the article, maybe it happened on the 14th.
I saw his Facebook memories come up yesterday.
Yeah, just to say shout out then.
Yeah.
For I don't know how many years. How many years is it?
5 years, 6 years, something.
Fuck, since the immortal Zorb incident.
Yes.
Out there at Penny.
Yes.
I don't know what it was then. Was it Pepper? Was it a muddy puddle? Or was it like a...
Yeah. Man, I wish I had the photo of that.
Yeah, I'm sure that he can provide that photo.
Yeah, put it in the group.
Yeah.
Show the fucking group what happened.
I mean, fucking Jarrell Yagi saw that photo and fucking vomited. He was like, shit, that looks terrible.
So Shunter said, hang on, I just realised that we railed those cunts in front of ScoMo. I'm firing off dust right now. Nothing left. Sucks shit. I'm glad the Sharkies also decided to take a holiday at the same time he did. Ramez in Facebook said, should have put 60 on us, you #Yeary of Cleary cowards. Yes. Joel said, dear Sharks fans, eat a giant bag of dick stains. Hammers said, man, you just hate to see such a humble fan base like the Sharks suffer such an indignant defeat like that. Hate to see it. Nathan says, Nene makes 5 errors and a rookie on debut scores 4 tries down his side, but he still layers up before scoring his intercept try. And
his intercept try was across the other side. He was on the Sharks' left, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he scored that try like down the. So he's like fucking deserted his post to try and get something out of it.
Devon Head said, do you know what you'll find if you look up retard in a dictionary? You'll find the definition of retard, which Aaron Woods clearly is.
Who ghost wrote that for him?
Fat Harry Lazy said, remember when Sharks fans were happy they won the trade? Keep your trade and put it in your bag of dicks. We just ended your season. #Yeary of Cleary. Woohoo. Big T said, finally got to watch the Staines game. His speed and positioning was great, but it was also his passing that was astonishing. These scenes of the team celebrations had me in tingles. Fucking oath, Big T. You fucking get it. You're not an emotionless husk of a person. Like this fucking... You ever seen a fucking heroin addict? That they're just so burnt out they can't enjoy anything anymore? That's what you are after years of fucking Cherry Evans in your team and having to be happy about him. You don't know happiness anymore.
I know happiness.
You fucking know nothing.
I tell you, I know happiness. I deleted like several social media apps this week. I was like on Saturday lunchtime, and let me tell you, It was fucking glorious.
Nice. Just replace all of them with TikTok.
No,
You'll be spurting.
No, TikTok is these Chinese fucking people. I mean, they've done enough. They've done enough to my year by eating bats. They're not gonna eat my personal data at the same time.
Hey, you know what? If it was an actual transaction and I had to hand my data over for jiggling pictures of titties while girls are dancing, I would happily make that transaction.
Yeah, I can get enough tattooed redhead sluts on Instagram. I don't need the fucking. I don't need the poor music and shit dances.
And the last one on that is our good friend at B.43. Well, I guess after that one, if I start to think my sister is attractive, then I'll really know what it's like to be a Broncos fan. And the irony there is that you've assumed that you would have to find your sister attractive, and by fucking law, you have a sibling that you must think is attractive because he looks exactly like you do, and like any red-blooded man, you think you're the hottest thing on the face of planet Earth.
Yeah, so
the
so
fact that you've
either that is
chosen-
true, or you're like the most self-loathing.
So the fact that you have chosen to ignore the possibility of a same-sex relationship means that you, sir, are already exactly like a Broncos fan. Done.
Speaking of Broncos, the Broncos 26 defeated the Bulldogs 8 at Suncorp. The Broncos 26 came through tries to double to Isako. Oates, Pangai Jr. and Coates with tries. Isako 2 of 5 conversions and a penalty goal. Doggies tries to Meaney and DWZ. And no conversions successful for Meaney. This game was fucking repugnant.
It was pretty AIDSy. Neither team was good. The Broncos were less shit. And I don't know whether it was...
So much hope and fucking...
Yeah.
In these Dogs, for fuck's sake.
For what they've shown us this year, even the variance between their best game and their worst game is surprising to me.
Yeah.
And
This was their worst game, though.
I don't know whether it was all the internal shit. I don't know whether that had boiled over before it leaked out to the general public.
Yeah.
But this was the fucking worst display that I've seen them put on all year. And really, you would think a 5-2 game would have had, at least maybe a third of it be exciting. This was fucking dour all the way through.
Yep.
Like even looking over it, I was trying to look for fucking glimmers of hope in this one. Like the Broncos only missed 12 tackles.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal statistical achievement. But I don't think it was due to any sort of massive improvement in their defense.
I think it's just the Dogs that threw 0 at them. Yeah,
exactly. In the Broncos' narrative for the year, though, was exactly what they needed when they needed it. Some key things like Corey Oates going over. The Broncos' road ahead is fucking horrendous. I think I've looked at it, and there's really only sort of 3 or 4 games that they have potentially a good chance of winning. They might jag an upset. You never know.
Yep.
But this is a step in the right direction for them, I feel.
Yeah, but just an absolutely disgusting game. Just hit the tweets.
Yeah, okay.
I want to talk about it. Made me so fucking angry. Like, I had real hope based on what we've seen from the Dogs. They're not great, but the Broncos aren't great either. I thought surely these cunts can get up and take a shot to put these other motherfuckers last.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Warriors did it the week before. The Warriors gave them the fucking blueprint. Oh, the Broncos are out to an early lead.
Yep.
Fucking regather, regroup, put some pressure on them, and they fucking fold.
Yep.
Toto in Facebook group said, 1, how good is a win? 2, coaches are overrated. 3, Croft loves giving hospital passes. 4, Fluffy to captain coach. 5, just let me have this, please.
Well, that was the other thing about it. There's much made in the lead up that the way that it was framed by the media was that the Broncos had they'd sort of coached themselves through the week. And then I heard later on that wasn't actually the case. There was just like 1 or 2 training sessions, and Seabold was there, and it was but that kind of media.
It's a fucking very not old school, but it's a very businessy approach to it. Where if you're taking on a situation where you get a group of people that you're ultimately responsible for, they have a relationship without you.
Yeah.
Then one of the most effective ways to go in there is you do the whole double whiteboard thing, and you say, "So tell me, what do you expect of me?"
Yep.
and they'll tell you and you write it down and you go, okay, this is all okay, this and this and this, and yep, I accept that, and that's fine, I can provide all that to you. Now tell me, what should I expect of you? And the idea is that because they're rattling it off to you,
Yeah.
if they're not providing that, you can go to them later.
And
Say, hey, I feel like I'm
doing this.
I'm providing this. You know, your suggestion was that you provide this or that you do this,
and you haven't done it.
And it's not happening.
Yep.
That's what I read that as. I
Yep.
don't think it was the fact that they were coaching themselves. Fuck, maybe they were. Who knows? Jason said a few weeks ago the Dogs were showing a lot of heart during the losses, but now the fire seems to be going out. No support play, no decent passes from dummy half, can't defend out wide or hang on to the ball. You look at the teams on top and you look at what they do that makes them so good, and it starts with the basics. Rugby league is not a complicated sport. Get the simple things right and the rest will follow. That's very true. Eddie in the Facebook group said, I had hopes for the Dogs in this game. Not high hopes, but some. But fuck me, has there ever been a worse performance? Terry said, I still can't see why people are saying the Dogs put in effort. They don't have any fitness and are so tired they make basic errors. That's very true. Sorry, but the pay experiment is up. Whatever turd he got asked to polish, he just can't polish it.
Well, there you go. Prescient.
Hectic said, I reckon stapling your dick to your leg would be more exciting than this game.
Yep.
Well, like from pure adrenaline, it'd probably be more exciting than most games, man. How fucking cheat up for your sharks are you getting? Like enough that you could staple your dick to your leg and be like, yeah, okay, I'll come back to that later.
It's just there's just it seems to be so many other methods of self-harm that before you have to start stabbing your dick, like
yeah, and like, what are you talking
about?
Why
is that? Why are you reaching for that first?
Like, is that like a normal staple just through the foreskin, or like an industrial one right through the meat? Ooh, do they make? Ooh, like I'm a remarkably average sized person, but do they make staples that big? Like, I'm not trying to fucking have a.
I don't know.
Ooh, Jesus Christ. And final word on that one goes to @GT351_Johns. That was a horrible rock bottom display, 6th grade errors, silly inept play, and some poor attitudes. A real shit show and embarrassing way to capitulate against another piss poor team. Not upset anymore, just very disappointed. Ooh, Jesus Christ, that's terrible.
All right, moving on. The Melbourne Storm 20 defeated the Raiders 14 down at GIO. Storm's 20 tries to Branko Lee, Fox, and Pappenhausen. Cam Smith, 3 conversions and a penalty goal. Defeating the Raiders 14 tries to Joshua Parley, Nick Kotrick, and Chance Nickel-Klokstad. Croker, 1 of 3 conversions. Scoreline was closer than the game probably deserved, because it was only the last 5 minutes when it actually got spicy and felt like it wasn't a foregone conclusion.
Yeah. Not a great quality game overall. I feel that if any of the other maybe top 6 or 7 sides had played in this game, that they would have been able to take advantage and put some real fucking points on either one of these teams.
Yeah.
It was just dropsy on both sides. I don't know, maybe it's the cold. Is the cold enough of a factor yet?
I shouldn't think so.
Who fucking knows? This was put down by more fucking shit cunt Storm stuff. You know? Like when they've got a dropout and the player goes down injured.
Yep.
And, to his fucking credit, went over there and knew the fucking rules well enough, first of all, to be able to say, no. If you'd have gone down injured before the dropout, we can call time. But you've gone down after I've called it.
Yep.
So you need to go out the back and you need to stay out until for the next defensive set.
Yep.
So you've just taken yourself out of play for the next defensive set.
Yep.
Fuck off. For Cameron Smith to then start coming over and questioning him like that, to me, fucking instantly, you say to him once, turn around and take the dropout, or I'm going to penalise you and sin bin you.
Yep.
Fuck him off.
Yep.
Like just stop the absolute fucking mockery of what he does in trying to manipulate time and take every little advantage,
Yep.
the referees have the right to penalise stuff that's not in the spirit of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the Storm aren't the powerhouse that they once were, but it's just getting beyond a joke.
Yeah.
The poor fucking Raiders here were hardly done by absolutely everything. Fate fucked them. The bunker fucked them. British people's basic conditioning fucked them. It was.
And now they're proper fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah.
You know, how many times do you see a grand final rematch coming in a season, and it's obviously by far the game of the round.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one's just Roosters by how much?
Yep.
The Storm are just doing Storm things, you know. Pappenhausen though was very fucking impressive. I do like how he plays the game. He's just improving on his position, and let's not forget that the Storm are still without Munster.
Yeah.
And that's a massive fucking loss.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually impressed the way that they managed to cover his loss, and surprisingly, how guys like Hughes have actually stepped up and
you give them simple things to do. But the Raiders, who in a fucking tough game after losing, one of their top 3 players, came very fucking close to getting over the Storm. Anything else you want to say on that one?
I don't think they came that close, to be honest. Really
close enough. Like for the adversity that they faced, for being
they did well. But I mean,
down.
like the Storm were well in control, except for like the last 50 seconds of the game, where you're like, oh, this is a bit exciting. Maybe the Raiders are fucking, maybe they'll pull something out of that.
Close.
That.
Let me light a candle.
I only light a fucking candle for those milk merchants. Fuck them. The Eels 10 to feed the Knights 4 at McDonald Jones. The 10 for the Eels came through tries to Ryan Madison and Micah Suo. 2 missed conversions to Gutho, but he got a penalty goal. The Knights 4 came with a try to Macca and a missed conversion to Callan Ponga.
It was a tighter game than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I think it was a low quality game all around. Eels well down on what they can do.
Yep.
And the Knights managed to sort of
lift a little bit above.
Keep them from getting away.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they weren't good either.
Yeah.
I mean, the Eels came down to what the last couple of weeks of Newcastle play is amounted to.
Yep.
But I am surprised that they did manage to keep them in that kind of a game.
Yeah. I think Wonga Blake has showed us again the way to play Kalen Ponga and the way that every team will play him from now on.
Beat his ass.
Yeah. 100%.
Beat him down, and he does well. I mean, and he folds.
Yeah, he does what any fucking normal human being does. If you get absolutely fucking snapped.
Yeah, but you have people that are actually like, tough people, and they realize it's part of the game. And they're like, okay, you're trying to fuck me.
Yeah.
You're trying to fucking knock me out of the game here.
And I'll come back at you. But
I mean, like the week before, he got bombed incessantly on the try line. Fucking let in 2 tries that were barely fucking called back.
Yep.
And then what did he do? Left the fucking field.
Yeah.
He couldn't even stay on the field. I mean, so credit to Ponga for staying on the field this time, not fucking being a coward. But is his myth thoroughly busted now? Or what's it going to take?
It's not, but I think he is firmly back in the potential stakes. And it's where he deserves to be. He deserves to be an exciting young prospect who has the potential to become a really great player. The shame about all of that is he's already on a fucking gajillion dollar contract.
Yeah, and he's re-upped to be paid as a really great player.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think the Eels obviously miss Moses at key times.
Yeah, I mean, because they've done fairly well to cover him.
They have. But again, if you look at over the course of the game, even doing without Brown for a period.
But I mean, that's something they should be used to, because I mean, fucking hell, he's suspended 1 week in the next week.
But even their other half Brown,
yeah,
is just showing that while he's a more than capable foil for when Moses is there, in a pinch, can take care of the team and can get them around the
I
park.
think he can and does very well.
And so that's the sort of thing that gives a team just that little bit of extra staunchness. You look at that grand final that the Roosters won with Cooper Cronk with one arm.
Yep.
That was because, Kiri obviously knew what he could do, but the rest of the team also knew what he could do. Because
And Cronk being there, even as diminished as he was,
Yeah.
and gave them enough of a boost that everything was going to be okay.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, it's no good if fucking Brown knows that he's capable and he can do it and he can get out there and make it happen in the absence of Moses. The rest of the team needs to believe that too to go with him.
And Field as well.
And wins like that.
Field is an able accomplice as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this week was not so much of an example of that. I mean, it's bad,
Yeah.
But I'd more think about the week before.
Yep. Tweets. John said the Waka Fergo defensive combination will be the death of our premiership charge. Parramatta playing down at Newcastle's level made it a lot harder than it should have been. Lucky to get away with a win on the back of that offside call. Room for improvement, very much so. What did you make of that? With the Sivo try from Gutherson's quick tap.
No, I didn't really have a problem
Yeah.
with it. I mean, I can see how they got to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, what are you saying? It was like some egregious.
Yeah. I'm not unhappy with it all
Yeah.
because I had money on Sportsbet ran a promo for Mika Sivo to score the first, second, or third try, and that was the third try. I'm 100% that was a try every day of the week, legitimately, and there is nothing you can do to convince me otherwise.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it was terribly egregious.
No,
Like fuck me. This is a weekend of this is not the weekend to try and isolate which is the worst decisions we made because I mean, fuck, there were some terrible ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt said, fuck me, I actually like Ponga, and I think he gets a rough go with all the hype stuff usually. But what he served up tonight was horseshit. It was. And look, just to clarify, and we were chatting about it before the show, initially, the Ponga stuff was just taking the piss.
Yeah.
Just as you would do with any club that had a bright young prospect. You
You certainly don't take anything that we say seriously.
Exactly. But it's at the stage now where he firmly needs to move himself out of that potential category, and start doing some stuff that makes him a marquee player. You look at any other player, you look at Tomalolo, anyone else on that $1 million, or not anyone else, there's some fucking shockers, but those marquee players that really put it in when the going gets tough. Joel in the Facebook group said, Knights' defence has been good. They've got nothing in attack. Every time they run the back line, they gallon it and short ball to a forward. When they keep spreading it, they hold it too long and let the defence cut it off. Then just finish it all off with a stab kick into defenders' legs, rinse and repeat. Pearce is in his old Origin attacking form. Oh, fuck. That's a rough one.
The problem is that Pearce, like some other halfbacks in the competition, needs he needs help from people around him to reach his potential.
Yep.
His help is Kurt Mann, who I don't think he's capable, but he's not a guy that's going to muck in and do his bit if Pearce is getting handled,
getting swamped. Yeah.
But Ponga is like his guy's meant to be there to help him.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
He's not. He's just sort of fucking hanging out there over on the right.
Yep.
And chiming in a couple over.
Yeah.
And that's not the help that Pearce needs.
And you look at the difference in somebody like Tedesco.
Yep.
Who is just constantly around the ball. He's not out waiting to be part of a play.
Yep. Exactly.
And at Cobra Burgers said, I don't get, and he fucking added him like a champion, the Kalen Ponga hype. Can't tackle or save a try, weak under the high ball, and a career 40% win percentage. Don't get me wrong, been a Knights supporter since the 90s, but dude, Lachlan Fitzgibbon has just as many try assists. Fucking very good points there. Some very good points. Done.
Look at that. That was that place I was telling you about over at Sunday, mate. The Korean chicken place.
Oh, fucking hell. What's that called?
That's Soul Bistro, but that burger is
Oh,
There's a buffalo. They have this Jappa burger, and so that's a buffalo one, and that's a peri peri one, I think.
yep.
But they fucking they're pretty big on the fried chicken, and then they've got that wing buffet. It's like, oh, you can eat
Man, I've
wings
been
for like
so
$20.
fucking good lately, hey. I have been so good. Oh, man.
Soul Bistro, if you're in Brisbane, I've been there one time, and it was and like I had a burger like that one on the right, and it was fucking delicious. I'm gonna say. I mean, it's not Fat Bellies. I mean, Fat Bellies was in its own class,
Yeah.
but that's because it's the only sort of natural one too. But I mean, these guys don't have any natural sort of thing. But still, it was fucking. It is good times. The Dragons 34 defeated Mighty Manly Seagulls 4 at Netstrata Jubilee Stadium on Sunday afternoon. Their points came through tries to Kerr, Lomax, Dufty, blah, 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 Norman and Ewan Aiken. Lomax 4 of 6 conversions and a penalty goal. Manly had a try to Joel Thompson. I'll tell you, this wasn't as aggravating as the Dogs game. Because this game, but the aggravating thing about this game was that they fucking stopped. They did fucking stop playing, and it's the first time I can remember they've stopped playing in fucking, I don't know, like shit. So certainly since like the Barrett era.
Yep.
Like, I mean, it's very rare that happens, and I mean they had a couple of things go against them and everything like that, but man, it's the first time they actually stopped. They actually stopped playing. And there was just too many fucking passengers in that side, just leaving it to like cunts like Ciro is just trying the whole time. And I fucking love that guy more and more every game. Fucking Cherry Evans had zero fucking help, and so as a result, he's trying to do fucking everything himself, and fucking and you know making some uncharacteristic mistakes as well. And it's just at the moment, I mean, they're playing about as they're playing with the attacking potency of like Alex McKinnon, and you know which is a coincidence because Manly too are functioning with only fucking 1/4 of their spine, and it's just fucking it's frustrating to see, but then the main problem is the two problems I can see is obviously it's just they just don't have fucking players the caliber of the ones that are missing, and like no club does, but the ones that they do have to call on are like fucking plotters like this fucking Croker. I swear to God, the only games he ever plays well are against Canberra because it's his revenge game. And he goes fucking. He goes off, gets 2 tries, fucking wins games single handedly, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, look at the fucking this." No, don't be fucking fooled. It happens every year. Don't be fucking fooled. Cust, you know, he may be good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not seeing it yet. And the problem is, I guess we'll get the chance to see it over the next couple of weeks because the second problem is, I fucking love Desi. But the one thing that I do not like, and this goes back to fucking 2005 or whatever, is that he's very like risk averse, and so as a result, he's not the guy to throw like young players into key positions, just just to try it out.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Okay.
So like we've got amazing junior rep, 5'8".
Yeah.
He's not going to throw him in this year. No fucking way. We've got guys like Albert Hopewade, who's a fucking gun.
Yep.
And he's come back. I mean, he's come back from ACL, but he's back in training as well. He's not going to put him in. And he's got all these young sort of players that if it were me, and I mean I'm not a coach for fucking NRL side, but if it were me, I'd put them in because they're young, but they're also of the position that has the need at the moment as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, that's a problem. I mean, the Dragons were okay in this game, but what happened was, I mean, they did definitely build they build in confidence. They were allowed to build in confidence through as the game kept going.
Yeah.
And this could be like a really good thing for them and like a turning point for them because I mean they haven't been that bad of late. I mean they've won like 3 of 4 or 3 of 5 or something like that. And so they haven't been terrible of late anyway. But what they've done, and maybe Manly, they've inadvertently killed Dean Pay because now Mary's slightly safe. And so what's happened now is that the Doggies, they've blinked first, And now they're going to be the ones. They're going to be the ones to take Trent Barrett off the table, and so the Dragons may end up with like a Tuvey or a fucking Hook or like someone who's actually got potential to turn the club around.
It is interesting. I was talking to a good mate who's a Dragons fan this morning, and he was saying the vibe he gets out of the players was that they were playing like they wanted to get Mary fired, and then all of a sudden the boards come out and said, "No, he's in there."
That's not happening.
And they've gone, "Oh, fuck that then."
Oh, fuck it, we got it.
And just started playing properly again.
I don't really have much else to say about it. Just all I would say is, Manly fans, is fucking strap yourself in because we've got 3 more weeks of this shit, and then the season can recommence again.
Are you still ready to die on your mountain? The stats about how shit you are without Biscuit Ankles, Retardovic.
Oh, fucking absolutely! Because I mean, it's not just him. We've lost our fucking hooker, our 5'8", and our fullback, and in this game, our fucking best prop as well. Literally,
and your half wasn't really
literally there. 4 of the 5 most important positions on the field were out.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, like if we have games
like that should really only matter against the top 8 side though. Like you should have handled the Dragons.
It matters against any side.
Okay.
Such as the high level of the competition of the 2020 NRL or National Rugby League, if you will.
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh, if you're going to go there, I will fucking go all the way there with you.
I'm curious. Because this year it's 0%. Just put it out there.
Yeah, but I mean, so we haven't had
0%.
It says 0% without Dylan Walker, 0% without Adam Fanua-Blake, 0% without fucking Fainu.
0%.
So, you know what I'm saying?
It's 0%.
It's 0% without 5 players.
Mitch D in the Facebook group said, I mean, everyone's team is going to take a proper loss each year. But to the 2020 Dragons, though, really? I used to hate Manly, but now I just feel sorry for them.
You know the funny thing? That's Mitch Dorr, right?
Yes.
Who supports the Sharks, right?
Yes.
Who got fucking over 50 put on this week and lost to the Dragons 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Motherfucker, you did it too.
Not a great loss, but that's exactly what he's saying. For everyone's team's proper loss. His proper loss was to eventual premiers in the hashtag Eerie of Clear.
Yeah, but he's had a proper loss to the fucking Dragons. They've had several proper losses this season.
Yeah. Ryan said, I may not be Nostradamus, but I foresee a Mars bar and baby oil shortage in my local Woolies coming up. Maybe Dragons fans can give me a few pointers. Absolute shambles and well below par for expectations. Lando in the Facebook group said, remove the Mars bar of shame and insert the Mars bar of triumph. Good to see the boys play a bit closer to their potential. Terry said, Manly fans, this is what is known as the Des Klein. Take it from a Dogs fan, there is a long way to go. I'm fucking erect at the thought of that.
It never ceases to amaze me how ungrateful that cunt fan base is for the fucking 2 grand finals and being delivered to them.
Oh, there was some time after that wasn't so rosy. But Ash said, what is this, the 2010 finals? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, 2010 finals. It's funny, that game was the one and only game I was the digi for doing Twitter for Manly.
There you go.
And that was the game where Manly had 9 players out of their top side, and Zorba fucking cracked the shits because I said that Tony Williams tripped on a blade of grass. Fuck that fat cunt. Is he dead yet? Not soon enough.
Andrew said, how good was it to see that long neck fuck have a cracker of a game? Intercept passes and drop balls. Is there more of an arse clown than DCE? No, there is not. Again, I think it's a new account to tweet the show. I haven't seen this before. I might be wrong. At Geo_Ute.
New to me.
That looks like a fucking... If I knew what a Geo-Ute was, I would suggest that your profile picture is of that.
What's the profile picture of?
Some sort of ute. And it looks to be very sort of fucking geo. Like, I don't know if it's geology.
Well, you got the trays full of rocks or something.
Or Nat Geo. But if I was going to do some geo...
There's like a ute on a mountaintop or something overlooking
I would drive that ute to do my geo. Fuck, that feels good to take that Mars bar out. Hashtag Go Dragons. Winston said, it is so much easier to watch a rugby league when your team does not play shit. That was a nice change.
Truth.
Mitchell said Manly fans would need a Mars bar as long as DCE's neck to get over this. Mo said, in all seriousness, who cares about this asterisk season anyway? And it's obvious to me now Des is planning for 2021. And you know what he has planned for you in 2021, Mo? More of your team to just be absolute fucking useless biscuit cunts and put you through the hope of doing well, only to biscuit themselves as biscuits do and leave you in fucking misery. So enjoy it. It's fucking Groundhog Year for Manly fans forever.
The beautiful thing is he'll be back soon, and then we'll go on the winning streak that will. Well, you know what the saving grace is? The Sharks are fucking terrible.
Yep.
The Tigers are fucking terrible.
Yep.
The Knights are sliding.
Yep.
And the Raiders are fucking sliding. And even despite all of those slidings, they're still all on the same fucking amount of competition points as well. Like there's 3 or 4 of them on the same amount. So, Manly fans, get through the next couple of weeks. Because once we get through the next couple of weeks, our season is pretty much done in terms of playing difficult teams as well. So we'll get everyone back. Tommy's already running at training. Dylan Walker's coming back any day now. So just go camping for like a fortnight. Just disconnect. Imagine it doesn't happen, and then come back and enjoy the rest of the season. I don't think the DPP is going to put Fainu's case through quick enough though this season. Oh, just something else I saw. Fucking Blake Green is now the Warriors are like, look,
if you can get something, hate to
see you go.
Yeah.
Oh, if Isaac Moses could get properly deregistered and lose his appeal,
yep,
I'd almost think fucking get him back, because even with the situation we've got at the moment, just having a proper half in there as well, so we've got fucking both sides covered, that alone would be great. But,
yep,
get CHN in as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okay, previews for, what is it, round 10? That's crazy to think we're only halfway through. Even like, it's a shortened season and all, the delay and everything. It's crazy to think it's only halfway. It feels like it's
it does, doesn't
it? Okay, first up, we have the Roosters versus the Raiders, the aforementioned grand final replay that you were talking about earlier. What's happened here? Ryan Hall drops out. Beamos comes back from injury. Boyd Cordner comes back. And Orbison benched. And Farmasili pushing back to the reserves. The Raiders, season-ending injury to Josh Hodgson. Season-ending injury to Bailey Simonson. So, Havili comes into hooker, which is not a bad option. I mean, it's great. Good to have him in your back pocket. Rapiner comes on to replace Simonson. Tom Starling and Kerr Scott joins the bench. Tarpanay starts. Kai O'Donnell drops back to the interchange. So, look, the Raiders, they obviously need to fight hard for this game. Just given the to get into the finals, and and they're still in a fight for the top 4 at this point. I can't think of a scenario.
I was just going to say,
the Roosters can.
How many different ways can you say Roosters by how much?
Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, you can look at all the statistics and like the past meetings and all that sort of thing, but it just doesn't fucking mean anything when they've lost, arguably their best player.
Yep.
And most influential player in the turnaround of that side.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
So I just feel like the Raiders are going to be a little bit rudderless. They've got pretty good defense, and so like with that Storm game last week. I mean, can they restrict the Roosters to enough points to try and keep hope alive and to a late flurry like last week? I don't know. I just can't see it. The Storm take on the Titans at Sunshine Coast Stadium. I almost could be tempted to fucking go up to this one.
Oof.
No, it's Friday night. No, goddamn. If it was on Saturday or Sunday, might have made the trek. Okay, so Munster's back, so that forces Riley Jacks out. Bromwich is out, so Brandon Smith named it prop. It's a little wombatty That's a wombatty little prop. Wanda Sykes comes back to the second row. Who else have we got here? Chris Lewis and Marion Sevi named on the bench. Titans. Good changes for them. Brian Kelly and Philip Sammy are back, so they've actually got proper centres into centres. Firma goes back to the second row where he should be.
Yep.
Bryce Cartwright out of the squad. Another positive. He's completely out of the 21, so what's happened there? Look, I think the Storm got this one well in hand. The Titans are an improved side, but that's when they're playing against the Warriors and the Broncos and teams like that. I don't think the Melbourne Storm's going to be troubled particularly. What else do we have here? That's all I got. Storm.
Yeah.
Tigers take on the Broncos at Leichhardt. Okay, so the West Tigers got some changes this week. Got Billy Walters and Benji Marshall in the halves, replacing the suspended Josh Reynolds and dropped Luke Brooks. Tommy Talau comes in to replace Reece Hoffman on the wing. Russell Packer comes in.
You know what would be fucking hilarious? This would change my opinion of the West Tigers as a staff record label and as a motherfucking crew.
If they could
do this,
okay.
Right? If they could name that team,
yep,
and have it as it is,
yep,
all the way up,
yep,
but then all of a sudden, 10 minutes before, and get Billy Walters to put his game plan in as to how he wants to run that side around.
Yeah.
Then 10 minutes before kickoff, tell him he's hooked, and get Anthony Seibold's son to go in and play the position.
Well,
Tigers should win this one very comfortably. It's at their fucking spiritual home ground. They seem to grow an extra leg at Leichhardt. And they have something to prove. They have far more talent on paper than the Broncos do. And this should be a fairly convincing win for them.
The problem I see with the Tigers here is this makeshift combination of Benji and Billy Walters, who are only existing in the halves at the moment. Sure, the suspension of Josh Reynolds, it's not like unforeseeable. I mean, it's what Josh Reynolds does. He gets catfished for fake babies, and he gets suspended for doing something with his leg.
Yep.
Like clockwork. But having Luke Brooks out of the side, I mean, this must be the first time he's been out of the side in fucking how long? I mean, so a lot depends on how quickly that combination comes together and also how that combination affects the defense of the side, because given people are getting just dropped, people miss 5 tackles or 6 tackles a game and they're dropped next week.
Yeah.
One of the offenders has been brought back in this week who was dropped because he was a liability and too many tries were getting scored through him.
Yeah.
Look, do the Broncos have the ability to fucking expose Benji in defence? That's another question entirely.
Yeah, I don't know. I still just think the fact that it's at Leichhardt, the Tigers have been building for a couple of weeks. They just keep getting players fucking suspended or dropped.
I feel like they've been declining. I felt like they're better 3 weeks ago than they were last week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Broncos, their last 6 games in Sydney, they've lost 5 of them by a combined score of 224 to 56. So let's hope that the Tig Pies can put 50 on them. Keep that dream alive. I think the Titans the Tigers will certainly win. But if they don't, there'll be fucking repercussions, let me tell you. I don't know what. But me calling people cunts next week. The Dragons versus the Bulldogs. Jordan Pereira suspended, so Jason Saab comes back on the wing, and what a fucking liability he is. And against the Doggies, though, the do-nothing Doggies. So what do they got? Nick Meaney switches to fullback. DWZ goes to the wing. Lachlan Lewis comes back with Wakeham dropped. Kerrod Holland replaces Remus Smith, who was suspended. Jeremy Marshall-King returns with Katoa benched.
Yeah. How many of those swaps, right, do you look at that and go, XYZ wasn't actually a ABC position anyway?
It's like it's a problem I had with the Titans earlier after the resumption of the season, where it just felt like that Holbrook was like swapping 6 guys at a time.
Yeah,
and you just can't do that. I mean, you certainly can't do like the Desi thing and just pick and stick for an entire year. But at the same time, how do you know what the key pin of your changes was if you're changing 6 and 7 things at once.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how do you then nail down where the benefit or the detriment was derived?
Yeah, spot on.
You can't. I mean,
shut up, or you're going to start getting approaches from clubs to become a fucking coach.
look, I'll do it because those motherfuckers make like fat stacks. and look, if I were to be a head coach of a side, you'd be tuning into that fucking press conference.
Yeah, true.
Because I wouldn't be giving up, like sad shit like Texas and all this bullshit. I'd be.
You just come in and you just put stacks of hundreds on the table. Right?
You just go 1,000, 2,000.
Okay, look, there's 60 grand there. That means I got 6 cunts.
that means
5 after that one.
That means
so bring the questions on.
That means,
you.
Yeah.
You fat cunt.
With an open bottle of liquor.
Yeah, you in the back. The bloke with a pretty mouth.
Yeah. Okay, and then you're like, who's next? And then like Whitelaw's just like, ooh, like fucking like Horseshack in fucking in Welcome Back. Ooh, and he's like,
make Whitelaw do the truffle shuffle.
and be like, no, not you, Danny, never you. Piss off. Dragons.
Yes.
The Rabbitohs versus the Knights. Okay, so Alex Johnson replaces the suspended Latrell. Campbell Graham replaced by Gay Guy. Jackson Paulo and Corey Allen on the wings.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened with Mark Nichols in the judiciary? I don't recall. Also, he's named, but he had the judiciary hearing. Didn't see what the result of that was. The Knights. Okay, so Saifidi, they lost. We didn't mention that. Saifidi, they lost him through the game against the Eels. Mitch Barnett, Sione Matautia, and Connor Watson are all back on the interchange.
Mm-hmm.
Brody Jones is out, and Tex Hoy has dropped out of the 17.
Yeah.
Look, the Rabbits have got a proper fullback.
They do.
Back in there.
They do.
And with him getting shifted on next year, I would love to fucking buy him. Because worst case scenario, you can just chuck him on the wing because fucking he's a great winger as well.
Exactly. And he's not one of those whingy cunts that's always fucking piping up about I want to play
here. Exactly. He'd be a great buy. And I mean it's crazy if South getting rid of him when it's not really you can't say for 100% that it's going to work. It's still still up in the air.
Yeah, that's it.
Look, I think the Rabbits they're doing well. Their defense, is great lately. Winning 4 of the last 5 games, they've kept their opponent to 12 points or less. The Knights, on the other hand, have had trouble scoring points of late.
Yeah. I don't see... And, look, the Knights did go toe-to-toe with the competition leaders, but it was a scrappy game, admittedly. I'm going to tip the Rabbits being at home.
Yep. I think the Rabbits should win fairly comfortably. The only problem is with as good as their defense has been, the Rabbits, like the Knights, have had trouble with attacking of late. So, still, Rabbits. Winning form is good form. Mighty Manly Seagulls take on the Parramatta Eels. Morgan Boyle. Oh my god, I didn't mention him. What a fucking plotter that cunt is. He's injured. I think he got injured in the first tackle of the game. But that's no excuse. Don't be a plotter cunt. Paseka starts. Corey Waddell is finally back from fucking injury, so he hits the bench. There's a couple of interesting names. I would love to, see the fucking back of, at a bare minimum, I would love to see the back of fucking Lachlan Croker. And I dare say, look, this is a guy, I love this man, and he served us well. But the bell rings for us all someday. And George Tafua, I think the bell's ringing for you, sir. I would be putting Tavita Funa in there for him. I would love to shoot fucking Lachlan Croker into the sun or whatever fucking fiery place that you can put him. Guacamole is in 18 at the moment. I think he should be brought in as an interchange at a bare fucking minimum.
Yep.
Because in the Blacktown era with Cade Cust, him running as a wide-ranging forward off Cust, they had a great fucking combination.
Yeah.
So if Guacamole can be Cust's fucking, kick out, or, Harry and Naira, on the left,
Yep.
great. The Eels, no change to their squad. Moses is getting closer, but he's not back. Fuck, I mean, there is no fucking chance of Manly winning this game if they turn around with the defense and the commitment. Admittedly, they do fire up more for teams that are good, and so and they do have the relationship with the rivalry with the Eels, since the dawn of time, and the games always have a bit of spice in there. But honestly, I just think without someone like Fanua Blake, that's like the impact that he has not being there in defence. It was evident last week, and I think it's just like, once again, we've got four out of the 5 most key positions on the field not there, and like to it's blatantly apparent that how the power dynamic has shifted between him and Fanua Blake over the last sort of year. It was like, because it wasn't just this season. It was like happening through last season at some point.
Yep.
And it's obvious. I mean, you just need motherfuckers just fucking run hard. You don't need to fucking tip tap and try and put footwork on before the line or anything.
Yep.
Just fucking run through the line, bitches. Do that, and you're good. I mean, like the Eels, if the Eels turn up like they did last week, then great. There's a fucking chance, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, that's it.
The Warriors take on the Sharks, Central Coast Stadium. The Warriors blessed with the return of Cody Nikorima and Channel Harris Tavita out of the 17, which is a fucking great result for them. Katoa's back, and Murchie drops the reserves. This is the second last time they're going to be blessed with the presence of Fusatua and Mamalo on the wings.
Yep.
Fuck knows what they're going to do when those guys go after next week's game. The Sharkies. Okay, so Mulatalo is named to return from injury after he was supposed to be last week, but wasn't. What would would they call him? His nickname, surely, amongst the team would be Mut, right? Like you need something quick, like when he's calling for the ball or whatever. Yep. You're calling him in or whatever. Yeah, he's Mut.
Get in, Mut.
Exactly.
Fucking the whole Mut.
And if he's back from injury, I mean, fucking hopefully he sees some penetration from Mut. Who else we got? Toby Rudolph starts with Jack Williams out of the side, which is another great move. Fafita is out. Is he out? Oh, he's out. And Scott Sorensen and Connor Tracy named in the interchange.
Yeah, I would love for the Warriors to have a fucking...
What the fuck was that? Was that the fucking Flick the Bean song you're talking about on TikTok?
No. I'm trying to look for somewhere in the matchup that the Warriors might have a fucking advantage, and I can't find it.
But the thing is, Cronulla could very easily underestimate them as well.
Yeah,
I wonder what's going to happen here with Fusatua and that. Like, are they going to be like, let's go out with a bang with these boys?
Yeah,
or are they like fuck these bitches, aren't even passing the ball to them?
You've essentially got Green, who's now back in a contract year.
Yeah,
so he'll be playing out of his skin. I just think, and I said it before last week's game as well, that right-hand side attack of Cronulla's is just growing in fucking dominance game on game. Ramian, unfortunately, was just absolutely fucking handled by a superior Panthers defensive outfit.
Look, I would put it to you that when the Sharks look good, they're playing severely undermanned Sea Eagles and then Bulldogs and Titans in a row.
Yeah. But no, I still think they'll have enough to get up over the Warriors.
Yeah. Okay, Panthers versus Cowboys. Panthers Stadium.
Yep.
Faray's back in. Shifts Naden to the wing. Chucky Staines is out.
Because he's a party animal.
And
with
he's
his
fucking
family.
And grinding his teeth at fucking 2:30 a.m. Oh, what else we got here?
Penrith, put your house on it.
Yeah, surely, right? I mean, fuck, the Cowboys are getting pumped by teams that aren't fucking good ones.
They had a very good showing against Newcastle. They came up and they ambushed Newcastle.
Yeah.
I don't think
That was an aberration.
They've got no Val Holmes.
Yeah, he's gone for like a long time. Like, what is it,
Another
like
ankle.
8 to 10?
It's another ankle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys traveling didn't used to be a threat, and they're still not a threat. So.
And just absolutely, just the way they were slaughtered in that first 20 minutes of the second half, just does not bode well.
That's it.
They've got a very good success rate against the Panthers during Paul Green's tenure as coach, though.
Yep.
5 from 8.
There you go.
But without Holmes, and more importantly, I think Drinkwater.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, this week, I didn't put the mailbag post up on Facebook because I fucking deleted Facebook on my phone. I totally forgot. So, sorry about that, fellas. Tipping, though, I lost a screenshot or something last week, but we got King Kong on top, who tipped 8 from 8 last week.
Ooh.
I think the only one. Certainly the only one in the top, like, sort of 20 or 30 that I scrolled down.
Yes.
So he's on top by 2 points. He or she is on top by 2 points, which is a great break at this early stage. Then followed up, we got Andy, Matt, Cowboy. In 5th, Bradman didn't push him. JBB, 6 again, yeah, nah. Sneaky Kiwi, Benny89, and Doggy Dude. So those guys all through from 5th through to 10th, all on the same amount of points. Had some reviews that I didn't get to last week. I forgot to paste them in last week, so I thought I'd get to them this week. Crisco Express said, a great show, laughs and actual smart footy talk. Been listening for over 3 years now. Thank you, sir. That was a 5 stars, of course.
Fantastic.
We got one from Sean_dog, and he said, hilarious, irreverent. Sorry, that was a bit of a Freudian slip. Smart reviews laced with heavy bias, the sort of opinionated, hard-hitting league discussion those guys from Fox and 9 probably wish they could do. My only wish is that every Thursday morning I had a 2-hour drive somewhere so I could listen to it in one go. Sean Dog.
Fuck yeah. Well done.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I said well done.
Okay, and this one from our boy, the biggest. The GOATs, 5 stars. I love this podcast. It's part of my week, like the football itself. I cannot recommend it high enough.
Fantastic.
I think you should have highly enough, especially given you're teaching the youth of the nation.
Or he's just smart enough. Oh no, he's not. I was going to say he's smart enough to give up on a lost cause once he sees how lost it is.
He's called the biggest. He's literally branded himself as the biggest tiger.
Yeah.
I believe he's waiting.
The biggest horse beater was already taken.
I think he's waiting till his hair goes grey and he's going to throw the singlet on and he's going to be throwing the uppercuts and everything. And he's because I mean, people would still think obviously rest in peace, Laurie. I mean, no more declines for you to witness. You be at peace, brother. But now biggest is trying to usurp.
Yes, okay.
The lofty position of Laurie Nichols. That's it for 359. Thanks for listening, folks. As always, on Twitter at TWI League, Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/TWiL Nation. Get in there. Our Facebook page, facebook.com/This Week in League. Hit the like button, share the shit around, help spread the word, please. And if you'd like to support the show, make sure the easiest way is to just drop us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. And if you want to go the extra mile, our digital memberships are still available and can be picked up anytime for only $3.99 a month.
Nice.
Slightly more than $3.50. And that is it. That's all I got for this week. Look at that, skating just under the 2-hour mark.
Fantastic.
Because I didn't spend 20 minutes doing mailbag stuff, but I did send the email out for the members though, so there is the members mailbag.
Oh no.
But
extra big mailbag next week.
And we might try a new thing with the recaps as well.
Yeah, we're going to switch the format up a little bit next week.
We spoke about doing this, and we may even mention it on the show like at the start of this year.
Who fucking knows?
I don't remember what was on last week's episode.
Exactly.
So, let alone
I fucking
10
hate,
weeks or...
People put a line in, like in the Facebook group, like they put a line in and go, this cracks me up. And I literally can't remember which one of us said it.
I don't even, and not only that, the line in isolation, I don't even remember what it was about.
Yes.
At all.
Yes. This is how tough it is to podcast, kids. Hours and hours of...
What you got to understand about this show is that we come in here and we wing it for 2 hours. Anything that comes out of our mouth is off the top of our head, unless it's like a straight fact, like a match, like a list of try scores from a match. Everything is like just straight off the top of the dome. And so you expect us to actually retain it. I mean, when good stuff, when something comes out that makes us laugh, I'll try and take a note. That could be the title of the episode. Yeah. But sometimes you're just in it and you don't even do that.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, fuck, what's this episode going to be called?
Exactly.
So this one, I don't know. I mean, like something about like staples, like... about that, the message, the comment from Mezzy.
Office works. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So that's going to be it. See you next week.
Later.